Yo, what's up, chat? Yo, everybody, what's going on? It's a good day we having. Hold on. Let me go ahead and switch out a bit right there. What's up? Go ahead and get my stuff set up, chat. I ain't gonna lie, I was in that bitch trying to cook something. What? 20 was. I don't trip, that shit ended. That's why I like that. That's how I invaded my crib. I parked your mans in this nigga's bonus and standing on B. I don't be shot in his shit. That's my big brother, I spin. On GF on step. I got step. Thought I was spinning the bricks. Oh, my shit might lag cause that. I feel like my screen gonna lag cause that. But you gotta wait and see. MGF on a step. I'm about to step by myself. Go to hell. Dang, chat. I'm still having technical difficulties. I know y'all don't want to hear this, but I might gotta go run and do something real quick and come back. That shit gonna take about an hour though. Be right back, chat. Damn, I gotta go run and do something. Chad. Chad, no, Chad. Chad, what happened, bro? None, just got home. Huh? Yeah, we can play. I'm still on screen. I'm just getting home. Screen don't stop. Alright, Chad, I'm finally back after an hour of waiting. It be hard. Alright. They talking about the opposition said, "Are you Billy like your daddy?" Boy, Ben, boy, get right, Ben, boy. All right, chat. What y'all want to watch? Nico surviving Minecraft's coldest
This
world.
world is completely
Like, chat, we gotta watch something
Every biome
tonight.
is either covered in snow.
I already know what
withered
y'all
with
saying.
ice.
Like, I don't even play
Without
games
warm
no more. It
clothes,
really be
I will
seeming
freeze
like
to
it.
death.
We're Kai live now.
All right, hold on. We got links. Quad Dermal's coming. I'm seeing it.
Bruce. Chat, what the hell y'all want to watch? I'm saying, like, it really won't be nothing to watch. Caught my ex at senior slip day. She missed
Do a
me.
cartwheel, badass.
No, hell no.
Oh.
Right now does.
The downfall of Lee Drilly. 94G, no G's like these, you heard. Jack Bigby, drop my shoe, gonna let it squeeze. Y'all did that. I cracked the cougar and her husband chased me down. S-tier story time.
Let's get into the intro, man.
For the next 48 hours, we're gonna be living on a floating home.
10 times Lil Jeff killed people on camera. This shit gotta be killed. I wanna watch that main video myself. I did drop 40. Fool, my shit gotta be the only shit that do this, cuz. Cuz. Try something. I want to watch the video, bruh. Oh, so this the video right here. 10 times Lil Jeff killed people on camera.
Was it Bloodhound Lil Jeff's fault for the deadly divide between Drill City and Trap City, which got him and his cousin killed?
when Lil Jeff decided to backdoor Trap City Carter for his chain and claimed he lost it in a high-speed chase. He even tried ripping up his clothes to make it look believable. But Trap City knew he was lying, and they were furious. They were out looking for Jeff, but instead caught his cousin Z-Money outside a store on 79th Street. That's when Lil Cap emptied 29 shots into Z-Money, causing a war between the two sets which ended in over 7 lives taken. Was it Bloodhound Lil Jeff's fault for the
This is how Bloodhound Lil Jeff caught Lil Rob and Monty after they ran off with his jewelry. At a time, both Monty and Lil Rob were close friends of Lil Jeff and would always be around each other. One day, Lil Rob and Monty asked Lil Jeff to take a picture with his jewelry. Them being close, Jeff didn't think much of it, but as soon as they grasped the jewelry, they took off running like it was a track meet. They would end up going on live to troll the Grim Reaper, trying to make people think Lil Jeff was soft. Now we know Lil Jeff wasn't going for none of that, and he had to respond.
On my dead grandmother's head, if I'm lying, I'm down. God could come pull me out this car right now. I never took a motherfucking dollar from nothing.
9 days later, January 26th, Monty and Lil Rob would be going for a lunch break from their school located downtown. That's where Lil Jeff and 3 others hopped out an Infinity Q50 and let off multiple rounds. Unfortunately, they didn't make it. Jeff then went on to update his body count with getting an additional 2 teardrops to make the body count a full 10. If that wasn't enough, 2 weeks later, he uploaded a song self-snitching about the situation.
I went black for like a week.
Hey, fool, this nigga right here funny as hell, cuz. Chad, we gotta watch this bitch.
I'm taking just a killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though.
Hear that? That's not just rap talk. That was Lil Jeff, live and unfiltered, setting the entrance requirements for his so-called killing school. From openly bragging about bodies in his diss track FTO to mocking fallen rivals with zero remorse, his reputation as one of the most ruthless figures in the streets only grew. This was a man who turned violence into entertainment, laughing about real-life murders on Instagram like it was just another joke. And if that wasn't enough, he took it a step further, gunning down 2 high school students and still finding a way to joke about it online. Cold-blooded, unfiltered, absolutely savage. These are Lil Jeff's most savage moments. Murders. Lil Gutta in a targeted hit. Lil Jeff lived by one rule: strike first and make it brutal. Of all the things he did, this was among the most ruthless. A broad daylight execution, carried out without hesitation. No mask, no fear, just a clear message to the streets. If you cross Lil Jeff, there's no warning, just bullets. This guy was not the type to let things slide. When someone from his side got killed, he made sure there was payback. And on May 13th, 2021, he did exactly that. It was a regular afternoon near East 79th Street in Chicago. The streets were busy. Cars rolled by, people stood around talking, and shops had customers going in and out. Nobody knew that a killing was about to happen. Lil Jeff had been watching Lil Gutta, real name Ronnie L. Sistrunk Jr., for a while. Gutta was moving like he had no enemies, walking through the city without a care. But his name had already been linked to Cruz murder a month earlier, and that was a serious problem. Whether Gutta had actually been involved didn't matter. What mattered was that Jeff believed he was. Jeff waited for the right moment. He wasn't the type to rush things. Gutta had just come out of a store, checking his phone, completely unaware of what was coming. Jeff moved in quickly. No words, no warning. Bang! The first shot hit Gutta in the chest. His body jerked, and his phone fell from his hand. Before he could react, another...
Bro, they got this shit on video, cuz?
Murders.
Hold
Lil
on,
Gutta
Chad.
in a targeted hit. Lil Jeff lived by one rule: strike first and make it brutal. Of all the things he did, this was
Yo,
among the
these
most
niggas
ruthless.
got hits
A broad
on
daylight
video,
execution,
cuz?
carried out without
How the
hesitation.
fuck is he not
No
in
mask,
jail?
no
Now I almost
fear,
went to
just a
jail
clear
for some
message
shit
to
that's
the
not even on
streets.
camera.
If you cross Lil Jeff, there's no
The
warning,
fuck,
just
huh?
bullets. This guy was not the type to let things slide. When someone from his side got killed, he made sure there was payback. And on May 13th, 2021, he did exactly that. It was a regular afternoon near East 79th Street in Chicago. The streets were busy. Cars rolled by. People stood around talking. And
Niggas in
shops had
Chicago be
customers
getting too
going
lucky.
in and out. Nobody knew that a killing was about to happen. Lil Jeff had been watching Lil Gutta, real name Ronnie L. Sistrunk Jr. for a
And why
while.
is this
Gutta
man
was
stalking
moving
these
like he
old
had no
ugly
enemies,
ass nigga,
walking
man?
through the city without a care. But his name had already been linked to Cruz murder a month earlier, and that was a serious problem. Whether Gutta had actually been involved didn't matter. What mattered was that Jeff believed he was. Jeff waited for the right moment. He wasn't the type to rush things. Gutta had just come out of a store, checking his phone, completely unaware of what was coming. Jeff moved in quickly. No words, no warnings. Bang! The first shot hit Gutta in the chest. His body jerked, and his phone fell
What
from
the
his hand.
fuck?
Before he could react, another shot, then another. Each one meant to make sure he wasn't getting back up. People screamed, some ducked, others ran. Jeff didn't stick around. He walked off, blending into the crowd like nothing had happened. By the time police arrived, Gutta was already dead. Witnesses had seen what happened, but no one was willing to talk. The streets knew who was responsible, but no one wanted to be next. A daytime hit was already a moment that had the streets whispering. But Jeff didn't just stop there. He took his savagery to the mic and turned 7 bodies into lyrics. Boasts about killing 7 people in FTO. The drill scene had always been filled with bold lyrics and street talk, but in March 2024, a song dropped that had people questioning whether the words were just music or real confessions. The track was called FTO, and as soon as it hit the streets, it became one of the most talked about songs that year. Lil Jeff and Vert had been teasing the release for weeks. When it finally dropped, the energy was violent, raw, and reckless. The lyrics had no filter. Jeff rapped about taking 7 lives, bragging like it was just another achievement. The way he delivered it was too specific, too detailed, making people wonder if he had really done everything he claimed. But one part of the song stood out more than anything else. Jeff called out Leal by name, mocking his death with the line, "Leal dumb in a pack, we smoking." It wasn't just a disrespectful line, it was a direct celebration of someone's murder. That was not the only part that got people talking. Another verse mentioned how his old friends, whom he used to be cool with, have now become his ops. He also mentioned how his crew had shot so much on Rhodes Avenue that their enemies had to shut down their drug spots. If true, this meant his side had not just taken lives, but also taken over entire trap operations, forcing their rivals to leave the area. The song spread fast. It was played in cars, blasted at parties, and debated in drill forums. People argued about whether Jeff's claims were exaggerated or if he had really dropped 7 bodies. No matter what the truth was, one thing was clear. Jeff had no fear of what he said or who heard it. His reputation for self-snitching
Fool,
was
I'm
already
still
growing,
trying to
but
figure out
FTO
how the
took it
fuck
to
them niggas get a vertical
operations,
hand
forcing
grip on
their
the
rivals to
fucking
leave the
pistol,
area.
man.
The song spread fast. It was played
They,
in cars,
I mean, I'm saying I know they got that bit on a real
People
guard, but
argued
that bit
about
look
whether
hard as
Jeff's
fuck.
claims were exaggerated or if he had really dropped 7 bodies.
Look
No
like
matter
they put
what
that
the
bit
truth
on
was,
a real guard.
one thing was clear. Jeff
I
had no
that shit
fear
look-
of what
that
he
shit
said
look
or who
hard.
heard it. His reputation for
My dick right there
self-snitching was
probably
already
sound like
growing, but FTO took it to another level. Now, was Jeff exaggerating his numbers, or was he really keeping score? That question didn't last long, because his next moment made it clear that when Jeff rapped about murder, it wasn't fiction. Gets revenge for Z-Money by killing Lil Pooh. Lil Jeff had been waiting for the right time, and when the moment came, he made sure it was merciless. Z-Money's death had left a wound that only blood could close, and in March 2023, Jeff set his sights on Lil Pooh. Pooh, real name Pierre Boozer Jr., had been moving around. Like nothing had changed. He still showed up in familiar places, still laughed with his people, still acted as if his name wasn't being whispered in the streets. But Jeff had already decided that Pooh wasn't going to see the summer. The plan was set in motion days before. Jeff didn't move sloppy. He didn't just roll up and start shooting. Instead, he let Pooh's own routine work against him. He sent word through mutuals, spreading talk that a certain block was safe again, knowing Pooh would hear it. Pooh took the bait, showing up like nothing was wrong. That night, the trap was set. Pooh pulled into the driveway of his home, the place he always returned to after a long day. He stepped out of his car, nodding at someone he recognized. The night was quiet, with only the distant hum of the city in the background. Everything seemed normal. Then the lights in the lot flickered. A small moment, barely noticeable. But in that second of distraction, a figure moved out of the shadows. The first shot hit Pooh's leg. He dropped to the ground, grabbing his knee, trying to crawl toward his home. He didn't make it. More shots followed, fast and unrelenting. The last one hit him in the back of the head, leaving him face down on the pavement. A car engine roared, tires screeched, and the shooter was gone. Witnesses stood frozen, and when the police arrived, nobody had seen a laughed with his people, still acted as if his name wasn't being whispered in the streets. But Jeff had already decided that Pooh wasn't going to see the summer. The plan was set in motion days before. Jeff didn't move sloppy. He didn't just roll up and start shooting. Instead, he let Pooh's own routine work against him. He sent word through mutuals, spreading talk that a certain block was safe again, knowing Pooh would hear it. Pooh took the bait, showing up like nothing was wrong. That night, the trap was set. Pooh pulled into the driveway of his home, the place he always returned to after a long day. He stepped out of his car, nodding at someone he recognized. The night was quiet, with only the distant hum of the city in the background. Everything seemed normal. Then the lights in the lot flickered. A small moment, barely noticeable. But in that second of distraction, a figure moved out of the shadows. The first shot hit Pooh's leg. He dropped to the ground, grabbing his knee, trying to crawl toward his home. He didn't make it. More shots followed, fast and unrelenting. The last one hit him in the back of the head, leaving him face down on the pavement. A car engine roared, tires screeched, and the shooter was gone.
Cuz, hold on,
Small
good.
moment, barely noticeable. But in that second of distraction,
These
the
niggas
figure
sound
moved
like
out of the
me.
shadows. The first shot hit Pooh's leg. He dropped to the ground, grabbing his knee, trying to crawl toward his home. He didn't make it. More shots followed, fast and unrelenting. The last one hit him in the back of the head, leaving him face down on the pavement. A car engine roared, tires screeched, and the shooter was gone. Witnesses stood frozen, and when the police arrived, nobody had seen a thing. But the streets knew. A year later, Jeff made sure the message was clear when he left a comment on an Instagram post about Pooh, confirming the motive. Disrespecting Z-Money came with consequences. Then came the leaked song, days before Jeff's own death. He rapped about hiding in the grass, waiting to strike, describing the exact way Pooh had been caught. After taking out Lil Pooh, most would have laid low. But Jeff, he wasn't done proving himself. His next moment came fast, and this time bullets were flying from a moving car. Orders a drive-by on Black. Lil Jeff had made a lot of enemies, and when things got serious, he did not hesitate to remove them. In March 2022, the streets started buzzing about a drive-by shooting in Chatham. The target was Roger Lewis, known as Black, a 33-year-old OG who had been well-respected in
He's
his
being
area.
killed.
Black had been
Old
standing
niggas,
outside his
young
house
niggas
that
who
evening.
don't
He was
care.
talking to someone, not paying attention to the street, unaware that a car had been rolling by slowly. The people inside were watching him closely, waiting for the right moment. The driver kept steady, and the backseat window was slightly open. As the car crept closer, there was a brief pause. Then the sound of rapid gunfire filled the air. Black barely had time to react. He tried to turn, but bullets had already ripped through him. His body dropped near the sidewalk as the car sped off, disappearing down the street before anyone could get a good look at it. The neighborhood fell silent for a moment. A few people ducked inside their houses. Others peeked out, already knowing there was nothing they could do. By the time the police arrived, Black was gone. A month later, a man named Trayvon Dix was arrested in connection to the shooting. But even after his arrest, people kept talking. Many believed Jeff had ordered the hit. The tension between his crew and Black's people had been getting worse, and this felt like a move to settle things. Jeff never addressed the rumors, but he did what he always did. He let his music do the talking. A few weeks later, he dropped a song with lyrics that made people wonder. He mentioned how some older guys think they run things until they get caught standing outside at the wrong time. A drive-by was already a wild moment, but Jeff had a habit of outdoing himself. When two bodies dropped on the same night, the streets knew. This wasn't just war, it was domination. Orchestrates a double murder. Lil Jeff had been involved in a lot of street violence, but November 1st, 2023 stood out as one of his most ruthless moments. Two people lost their lives that night in what many believed was a planned execution. The targets were Donardo Buford, known as Lil Deuce, and Desiree McGee, known as D-Money. The two friends had been sitting in a parked car on South Dorchester Avenue, probably thinking it was just another night. They might have been talking, scrolling through their phones, or just passing time. They had no idea they were being watched. A black SUV had been circling the area. It passed by once, then again, moving slowly. No one inside the car made any sudden moves. They were waiting for the right moment. Then it happened. The SUV stopped a few feet away. The doors swung open, and before anyone could react, gunmen stepped out and opened fire. Glass shattered. Bullets ripped through metal and flesh. Little Deuce and D-Money never had a chance to escape. The attack was over in seconds, but the damage was done. By the time the shooters got back into the SUV and sped off, both victims were critically wounded. They were rushed to the University of Chicago Medical Center, but it was too late. Neither of them survived. The police arrived quickly, finding multiple shell casings scattered around the scene. But as always, no one was willing to talk. The case remained open, and no charges were ever filed.
This
against
shit gotta
Jeff.
be like
Still,
this
the
down
streets
here,
had their
like,
own way of confirming
no
it.
nigga
In
running
March
they mouth, gang
2024,
gonna get
Jeff
away with
posted a cryptic
anything.
Instagram story. It was simple, just a few emojis, but people knew what it meant. The message seemed to be a list of names, and one of them was clearly linked to D-Money's murder. You'd think after a double murder, Jeff would want to keep quiet, but no. His next moment was in the studio, rapping about his victims with details only the killer could know. Admits to murder in his song, Ah. By early 2024, Lil Jeff's name was already tied to countless street rumors. But when he dropped Ah in February, the conversation took a turn. It wasn't just another drill track full of threats and tough talk. This one felt like a confession. The beat was dark, the flow was aggressive, but it was the lyrics that made people stop and listen. In one chilling line, Jeff described a victim screaming before taking his last breath. The way he rapped it, like he was reliving the moment, made people immediately connect it to the murders of Monty and Lil Rob. For those who remembered how the two were killed, the details were too accurate to ignore. Monty had been left gasping for air on the sidewalk, and Lil Rob's final moments were eerily similar to what Jeff was rapping about. Within hours of its release, the internet caught fire. Reddit threads were filled with people breaking down the lyrics and matching them to real-life events. Drill forums argued over whether Jeff was bragging or setting himself up for trouble. Some fans defended him, saying he was just telling a story, but others believed he had done what many rappers before him had been accused of, self-snitching in the booth. This wasn't the first time Jeff had been suspected of putting real murders into his songs, but took things to another level. It wasn't just about who got hit or where it happened. This time, it was about how they died, what they said in their last seconds, and how Jeff felt watching it happen. He never responded to the accusations. He never clarified the meaning, but he didn't have to. The damage was already done. Rapping about bodies is one thing, but saying it lived, that's a moment only someone who truly doesn't fear death would create. And Jeff, he laughed while updating his body count. Updates his body count.
I tried everything for my stubborn dandruff, and then I found Nizoral.
I ain't
It
even
works differently
gonna
to get to the root cause of dandruff. Its active
This a
ingredient is
bad
10
motherfucker.
times more effective at fighting fungus. The
But
primary
Chad,
cause of
is
dandruff.
no
Say goodbye to
motherfucking
stubborn
way
dandruff with Nizoral.
niggas doing
Now in
this shit in
refreshing
broad
peppermint
daylight
and
and
tea
getting
tree
away with it though.
With
man.
Wendy's
Like,
new Biggie Deals, you can snack any way
I don't
you
think
want.
y'all
Because
understand
I'm not
how
just a
hard
bag,
this shit
I'm one of
is,
3
like-
Biggie Deals you can choose from. Shotgun.
shit happen at night. I ain't got
Consider
shit to
me
do
a
with it.
passenger
My name
princess.
still get called
A
for
Biggie
shit.
deal for any
Just
size
'cause I
hunger,
was there.
only at Wendy's.
This nigga bouncing out.
A lot of people think the Georgia Farm Bureau insurance is just for farmers, but most of our
Shit.
customers don't farm at all.
I love knowing it protects me. and
Bruh,
access to
daylight,
locally
though.
grown food. Georgia Farm Bureau.
This man really like
insurance is
catching
insurance I
shit,
can feel
bro.
good about.
They like nobody cares. They don't give a
Every
fuck
student
about what this
deserves
man
an
is doing.
education they can count on. One that delivers
Ain't nobody
results
snitching.
and
That
opens
really how it
doors
supposed to be
for more
though.
than-
Count to 10 on Instagram Live. The energy on Instagram felt different on the night of May 13th, 2024. Thousands of people were tuned in, waiting to see what Lil Jeff would say next. He sat in front of the camera, relaxed, flipping through a thick stack of money. His wrist shined every time he moved, the diamonds on his Rolex catching the light. The comment section moved so fast it was impossible to keep up. As the live went on, the conversation took a dark turn. Jeff started talking about the streets, about the people he had lost, and the ones who had lost their lives because of him. With a smirk, he leaned back and made a statement that shook everyone watching. The comment section exploded. Some fans hyped him up, while others were shocked. His enemies, whether they were watching or someone sent them the clip later, had all the information they needed. He made it clear that the body count had gone up. Next to him, Q50, a close associate, added his own number, fueling even more speculation. If anyone thought Jeff was exaggerating, hearing Q50 confirm his own count only made it more believable. The live continued with Jeff taunting his rivals, daring them to respond. He laughed as he fanned out his money, showing no concern for what he had just admitted. It didn't take long for the clip to spread. Reddit forums, drill pages, and even law enforcement were all talking about it. People debated if he was being serious or if it was all for attention. But those who knew how the streets worked believed every word. This moment made him a bigger target, not just for the police, but for the people he had been calling out. It was one thing to move in silence, but going on live and saying it out loud, that was something else. If claiming 10 bodies wasn't insane enough, Jeff's next moment had people shaking their heads. Not only did he kill, but he demanded the same from anyone who wanted to roll with him. Brags about his killing school requirement. In early February 2024, Lil Jeff's Instagram post had the city talking. He said he was going to start a killing school, and the requirement was a minimum of 2 bodies.
I'm taking just a killing school. Class start next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though. For I ain't coming with no. You ain't got. I can't work with no beginners.
But that's not all. The post started with a message about his enemies, accusing them of taking out innocent people instead of handling real street business. It was a direct shot at those who had been speaking on his name. But what really caught people's attention was the photo that came with it. Jeff had a fresh tattoo, 10 teardrops inked onto his skin. The streets already understood what that meant. Each teardrop was a body, a life taken. Some people even speculated that 2 of them were for Lil Rob and Monty, 2 names connected to past murders. As if that wasn't enough, he lined up a series of emojis in the caption, carefully
Chat,
placed
Lil
in ways that
Rob
seemed
and
to match
Monty,
10
gang.
victims. The message was clear, but not direct enough to be a confession. Jeff knew how to say a lot without saying too much. His close associate, Q50, didn't let the moment pass. He followed up with his own post, updating his body count to 8. If anyone had doubts about Jeff's claims, hearing Q50 confirm his own numbers only made it feel more real. The conversation around the post spread quickly. Some laughed it off, saying he was just rapping. But was he really? Jeff had already made it clear. His circle wasn't for amateurs. But when he posted a cryptic message that looked like a list of his victims, it became a moment the internet couldn't ignore. Posts a cryptic message listing his victims. Lil Jeff was known for stirring controversy, but in April 2024, he took things to another level. Instead of making a direct statement, he dropped a post that had the whole city talking. The post contained lyrics from an unreleased King Von song, but what really caught people's attention was what came after. Below the lyrics, Jeff added 10 emojis. At first it looked random, but the streets quickly started putting the pieces together. One emoji stood out more than the rest, a woman's hat. It did not take long for fans to link it to D-Money, a known name in street circles. People believed it was a coded reference to his female nickname, a slick way of saying he was responsible for the murder without actually saying it. The conversation spread fast. Was this a body count? Was he listing his victims? Some thought it was a way to taunt his enemies. Others called it another case of self-snitching, something Jeff had already been accused of multiple times. Despite the backlash, Jeff refused to take the post down. He never explained its meaning, never corrected the speculation. Instead, he let people argue and debate, watching as his name spread even further. Nobody knew if the emojis really represented lives lost, but one thing was clear. Jeff wanted people to keep guessing, and he made sure they never stopped talking. Some killers leave evidence behind by accident. Jeff, he turned it into a moment. Flaunting stolen watches and bloodied hands, he wasn't just sending a message, he was mocking the dead. Taunts ops with stolen watches and bloody hands. Social media had always been a tool for Lil Jeff, but in early 2024, he used it to send a message that had everyone watching. This time, it wasn't a song, a cryptic caption, or a live stream. It was a set of pictures that spoke louder than words. The first image showed two expensive watches, both sitting on his wrist. The brands were easy to recognize, the kind of jewelry that only a few people in the city could afford. But it wasn't about the price. It was about who they belonged to. Word spread fast that they had been stolen from 6,300 Breato, a known rival. Jeff didn't just take them, he posted them for the world to see, making sure Breato and his people felt the disrespect. The second image was even worse. His hands were covered in blood. Nobody needed an explanation. The meaning was clear. He was claiming to have done something violent, something that took him to a different level in the streets. Whether it was a real confession or just a way to boost his image, the message was the same. He wanted his enemies to know he wasn't done. People immediately connected this to something deeper. Months earlier, Jeff had been robbed by BKN members, an incident that had been laughed about on social media. Some saw this as his way of getting revenge, letting them know he had taken something back. The pictures fueled the fire between him and his rivals, making it clear that the situation was far from over. It wasn't just about the stolen watches, it was about power, and Jeff wanted everyone to know he was still in control. If there was ever a moment that showed Jeff was living without limits, it was this. Sniffing perks on camera, slurring words, laughing about murder. He wasn't hiding anything anymore. Sniffs Percocet during an interview. Lil Jeff had built a reputation for being reckless, both in the streets and in the way he carried himself in public. He had been known to brag about his crimes, taunt his enemies online, and show no fear of consequences. But in May 2024, he took things even further during an interview that left people wondering if he had completely lost control. He was sitting across from DJU, a well-known interviewer in the drill scene. The cameras were rolling, and thousands of people were tuned in, waiting to hear what he had to say. At first, the conversation was normal. He talked about his music, his street life, and his growing influence. But as the interview went on, his energy shifted. In the middle of answering a question, Jeff reached into his pocket, pulled out a crushed-up Percocet, and sniffed it right in front of the camera. The room went quiet for a second. Even DJU, who had seen plenty of wild interviews, looked caught off guard. Jeff leaned back and laughed. Q50, sitting beside him, chuckled as well, hyping up the moment. Jeff then compared himself to Tony Montana, the infamous drug lord from Scarface, as if he was living out a scene from the movie. As the interview continued, his words started to slur. He mumbled about his body count, joking about the people he had allegedly killed. Some thought he was putting on an act, but others saw it as a sign that he was spiraling out of control. When the clip hit social media, it spread fast. Some fans hyped him up, but many criticized him, saying he had taken things too far. The moment became another example of Jeff's reckless and predictable.
Hold up, I can't hear you. I'm finna come out in a minute. Hold on, chat. Hold on, I'll read my chat read. Hold on. I see his dead man walking. Give a fuck about your attitude. Go get you some money, nigga. Bro, chat, bro, this shit don't stop, bro. Let's finish this shit.
Plenty of disturbing moments, but this, laughing about 2 murdered high schoolers, this was proof. He wasn't just reckless, he was heartless. Jokes about killing 2 high school students. Lil Jeff had always been known for mocking his enemies, but in February 2024, he crossed a line that even his own fans found disturbing. 2 teenagers had been shot and killed near Washington in the Loop, and while their families mourned, Jeff used the moment to entertain himself. The victims, 17-year-old Monterio Williams and 16-year-old Robert Boston, were still being talked about on the news when Jeff made his post. It was a simple picture, but the message behind it was dark. He was sitting back holding up 2 blunts, smoke curling around his face. The caption was vague, but people didn't need an explanation. They already knew what he was referring to, and the timing of the post made it even more obvious. Within minutes, his comment section exploded. Some laughed, understanding what he was implying. Others were disgusted, calling him out for being heartless. The post started circulating on drill pages and Twitter, with people debating if it was a coincidence or if he was claiming responsibility for the killing. Some people even compared it to past incidents where rappers had hinted at real-life crimes through their social media posts. Jeff saw the backlash but didn't care. Instead of deleting the post, he kept making reckless statements, making it clear he was not worried about what anyone thought. He had been accused of self-snitching before, but this time it felt different. The way he casually joked about 2 teenagers losing their lives made it seem like he had no limits. The families of the victims spoke out, expressing their pain and anger. Community leaders called for action, saying this was proof of how drill culture was getting out of control. But Jeff continued posting, refusing to show any remorse. Whether he was truly involved or not, the damage was done. The post became one of the most disturbing moments of his career, adding to the long list of reasons why people saw him as one of the most reckless figures in the drill scene. For years, Jeff had created savage moments at the expense of others. But on June 8th, 2024, his final moment came when he ran into a house and never came back out alive. Chases an op into a house, then gets gunned down. In the streets, every move comes with consequences. Some take longer to arrive, but they always do. For Lil Jeff, June 8th, 2024 was the day everything caught up with him. It was a moment that would mark the violent end of a name that had caused fear and chaos for years. It happened on South Rhodes Avenue, a place that had seen its fair share of shootouts, but nothing like this. Witnesses saw Jeff chasing an enemy, moving fast, determined, and focused on only one thing. The man he was after sprinted toward a house, grabbed the door, and disappeared inside. Most people would have hesitated, but Jeff didn't stop. He followed without thinking, stepping through the doorway, convinced he had the upper hand. The moment he entered, gunfire erupted. The house was not a place of safety for his enemy. It was a trap. The people inside had been waiting, and Jeff had walked straight into their setup. Shots came from different angles. 19 bullets tore into Jeff's body before he even had the chance to fire back. His crew, who had been right behind him, immediately returned fire, turning the quiet street into a war zone. By the time the shooting stopped, the damage was beyond repair. 58 shell casings were scattered across the scene. The walls were torn apart by bullets, and the floor was covered in blood. Jeff's crew saw him lying there, barely clinging to life. They had a choice: stay and fight or leave. They chose to run. By the time the police arrived, the house was empty. The ones who had set the trap had disappeared. Lil Jeff was gone too. His story ended the same way he had lived, surrounded by gunfire, with no second chance. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, click on one of the boxes playing on your screen to watch more similar content.
I'm Jason Estevez, and when there's a crisis, I run towards it. That's why my wife and I opened an urgent care clinic during the pandemic, and why, as a caregiver to my mom with Alzheimer's, I won't stand for Donald Trump's cuts to healthcare while drug and insurance companies profit. And extreme politicians in Georgia push Trump to break the system and stick us with the bill.
That shit really fucked
I'll
up.
hold them accountable, expand Medicaid, and invest in clinics and hospitals across Georgia.
Yo.
For me, tackling healthcare costs is personal.
YouTube. I ain't even seen you type this shit.
What's good, y'all, man? It's your boy Quan, and I'm back with another vlog, and it's today's vlog, as y'all can see by the title and the thumbnail. I don't even know what the title and the thumbnail is, but right now I am about to head out. I got invited by Spotify to this live event. Your boy Quan, we becoming a little more known, man. The notoriety is going up, but as y'all can see, my outfit up today. Off-white Chicago ones, Balenciaga shorts, Stolen Arts on the belt, slight calm. If y'all seen the fit on TikTok, y'all seen the fit on TikTok. But however, right now we are waiting on the driver to get
my
home.
Instagram right there, fool. Like, what is it?
Hope you enjoy today's vlog. And I got some crazy stuff to show y'all when I get back to the crib, so stay tuned for that. But until then, let's do it. Yo, what's going on, y'all? So, as y'all seen, I was recording on my phone. I'm in my TikTok bag, man. We out here getting.
I ain't gonna lie, check that one thing I gotta get on. I gotta get on my TikTok shit.
And to know that, like, who reached out to us from Spotify, that's crazy. Shout out Spotify, shout out Rap Caviar.
I gotta get on my TikTok shit.
We are currently, I want to say, a couple minutes away from the destination.
Ain't he gonna say I'm too cool for this shit?
It's a great turnout. I'm gonna get like.
I'm really lame as a bitch.
On the vlog.
I just can't get into that TikTok shit.
I don't really know 100% of everything.
I might just be too lame, bro. I don't know.
I'm just about to.
I ain't trying to watch no porn though. Give a fuck about your attitude. Go get you some money. I ain't even gonna care, chat. That nigga Lil Jeff, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga lit, bro. I ain't gonna care. That nigga is one on one. That nigga lit.
Anybody following the Chicago drill scene? No.
Hey, fool, who this here trolling on my shit? Fool? I feel like it's somebody I know. Oh, yeah, nigga be trolling overly bad. I want to see by Vine or 1700. I don't care. It crazy chat. I don't realize 1700, but I can't put it in my name cause this nigga, bro. Nigga just dropped the video.
Yeah, I seen it. I'm like, what?
What they take?
Cameras
my two cameras and my laptop.
That nigga stay on the net though. Oh, chat, we were watching it last year.
We don't know who the ops is. Like, who is the ops? We forgot. Who is? We forgot. We just living like.
I forgot about TG. Give a fuck about your attitude. Go get you some money. I ain't gonna care, bro. Vine straight. I just wasn't trying to watch no thing about back end though. Same game. Dumb killers. What the fuck? How can you be a dumb killer? I ain't gonna care. The only time I say niggas be like on some dumb killing shit is if you doing shit like I be understanding like some shit you really can't control.
So listen,
like,
man, I'm easy too, by the way. So
if
listen.
you clap a nigga no mask, I can see you doing that shit. But like if you did that shit purposely, like. Man, I feel played with, bro. Give a fuck about your attitude. Go get you some money.
I got poles all up in Cali, nigga play that way late. Nigga want in them cars with us. Get the fuck about my face. I can post up on my block, but I got sticks all in the ring. We'll spend after we fuck a block on. They safe from the right, I see his thing. Ain't no question, he get taste. I be fresh if I'm trying to kill a nigga. Slide up in his bait. Soon as a nigga get his ass. I got poles all up in Cali, nigga play that way late. Nigga want in them cars with us. Get the fuck about my face. I can post up on my block, but I got sticks all in the ring. We'll spend after we fuck a block on. They safe from the right, I see his thing. Ain't no question, he get taste. I be fresh if I'm trying to kill a nigga. Slide up in his.
Cause this a nigga who I know I forgot about it. But I ain't gonna count all these like
Harbor Freight Tools.
I know I'm a small creator, but all these
Better
small
performance,
creators, these niggas
better
these
durability.
Niggas collab with
Ain't
me.
got no emotion in you, bro. Nigga, we grown it for. Shout it to me, sis.
I don't even hear about niggas talking about this nigga no more. Cause he still get views. Hell yeah, he still get views. He just got.
Ain't got no
I ain't gonna lie, but 900 in an hour, that shit is low as fuck though. I ain't gonna count. You know, and I don't even pull 900. Oh, this ain't any nigga man paid. God.
As you can see from behind me, man, I can't see no faces. We got it once again.
Nah, man, bro, still lit. Bruh still lit, bro. Bruh still lit. Let me just go ahead and get off bruh shit. Bruh still lit. T going off. Damn. That shit got cut. That nigga shit got banned. He had 25. This nigga TJ, what? That nigga ain't posted in O.
Damn, you put hella shit on my page. Why?
So bruh been gone for a month. Jada Bogus, what the fuck she didn't know any kids. Shoot, switch on Stony Island.
What y'all think, bro?
Fucking
The next segment, bro, listen. They're trying to say I came up with this. Bro, realistically, I came up with this, bro. The next segment, bro, listen.
Hey, this
They're
shit
trying
might
to
be a
say I
little
came
gay
up
though.
with this. Bro, realistically, I came up with this, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I really want this shit to happen. No, thank you, but it was me. It was me. I came up with this. I did. Basically, listen. No, I'm gonna say it. Okay, bro. Basically, y'all know how Jubilee does videos. I seen FaZe do it. Shout out to FaZe for inspiration. Shout out to Jubilee. Basically, we was gonna have them rank us on meat size. Like, who they
I've
do
been
that?
streaming for 2 hours. I be on my 2-hour merchant shit. Chat, I be tripping. I be forgetting I be on my 2-hour merchant shit. I gotta get back on my 2-hour merchant shit. Y'all know, bro. Chat, y'all know I'm on the screen for 2 hours. Max. I'm still here, boo, hitting my line. Who's this playing on my guy? I wonder who this is playing on my page. Why Gracia Reborn? Roblox got some new games. Give a fuck about your attitude. Go get you some money, nigga. Shin 2, Anti-Magic. And like chat, we do need to start back playing games. I ain't gonna count. We don't really even play games no more. But it really just can't be shit to play. Like, what am I gonna play? I can't just get up here and just play shit like this. Cause like this ain't this game lit, but this ain't no game like you just play on screen. Like this some chill shit. Like I don't even be playing my game no more for real. Like only time I get on my game is when I'm streaming y'all. Like I don't play this bit. I don't play this bitch at all. I don't even know what the fuck I got on this bitch. Kill limited score boss 10 times. I guess that's what I was doing. Where the hell that shit at? But y'all feel me though, chat? I don't be playing it bitch. Turn the chat off. Let's go to the stats. Chat, y'all peep my stats. I really be on my swordsman shit. Y'all see this shit, bro. I really be on my swordsman shit. Y'all see this shit. I really be on my Zoro shit. Like every game I play, I be on my Zoro shit. Y'all see what the fuck I be doing. And I'm a demon too. Anti-magic, demon wing. I'm saying no fam, $1,000 though, girl. That shit ain't. I ain't doing that. Damn, man. Demon King. Whoa, hold on. I know that's some 7 Deadly Sin shit. Great Mage, wear outfit. I don't really care about that other shit. I seen some 7 Deadly Sin shit. I ain't gonna lie. That's the only thing I'm looking at. I ain't worried about that shit. I ain't worried about that shit. Yamato, True Manipulator, Shadow Monarch, Demon King. Oh man. They're like Eskimo shit right there. Eskimo, that nigga. Solo Hunt, Excalibur, Cursed Vessel, Vampire King, Strongest of Today, Strongest in History, Soul Reaper, Slime, Yamato, Sin of Pride, Demon King, Let me get up out the shit. I ain't gonna care, chat. Like this ain't no shit that you play like. Don't nobody wanna watch a nigga play this lame ass shit, man. Fuck. Might as well kill Brad one time while I'm here. Fuck it. I'm already on it, bitch. I don't know how to turn on my. Oh. I gotta put the weekend free down too, but it be ass. Who the fuck? I know. I ain't gonna lie. If I played the game, like if I was grinding the game, I know I got some better foods. What's the sport? Oh, I got another Quake. I got another light. I got. Let me go and eat that light food. Bro. Well, matter of fact, I'm just gonna put it back. I don't even play this shit. Lethal. No, they be trying to get out too, boy. Store their bullshit in the vault. Oh. Let me get up out this shit. This shit is super lame. Okay, I don't even be playing shit on Roblox no more. Like, we gotta start back playing Roblox. You know, we gonna play some shit on Roblox. But alright, though, chat, that's the end of the screen. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, and me. I ain't even finna play no music for y'all. Just know, bro, I love y'all, bro.
I'm gonna rank us by who got the biggest meeting shit. Like,
I do wanna watch this low key. It might be a little gay, but low key, I wanna watch it.
Wait, y'all doing bass? I mean, yeah. Wait, that's
Alright, chat, like, comment, subscribe, enjoy. Alright, love y'all. We grinding. Peace.